Welcome to my full ship tour of Bolette, one of the cruise ships in the Fred Olsen Cruise Lines fleet. In this video today, I'm going to take you on a full tour of this ship, showing you every single venue on board. Bolette was initially launched in 2000, and she joined the Fred Olsen Cruise Lines fleet in 2020. She's a smaller ship, accommodating 1,338 passengers across 690 cabins. Now let's get started on our tour today. I'll see you on board. We're beginning our tour today in Bolette's main atrium, which spans across decks 3, 4 and 5. This space has one of the most impressive centrepieces that I have ever seen. Look at this clock tower, which, believe it or not, does still chime. It is an absolute spectacle. Within the main atrium area itself, on deck 4, you've got a couple of key venues, including guest services and destination services. If you then move towards the front of the ship, you'll find the photo gallery. This is where, if you've used the onboard photographers to take your photo during the cruise, you can come to view and also make any purchases to take home with you. Further again towards the front of the ship is the Neptune Lounge. The Neptune Lounge is actually the furthest forward venue on this deck, but we'll come back to this when we move up to deck number 5. Going back to the atrium and moving over to the other side towards the back of the ship, the next venue that you'll find is the onboard art gallery. This is a very quiet space to come, relax, perhaps bring a coffee and just have a look at some of the pieces of art. That's directly beside the small duty-free shopping area, so if you'd like to buy some spirits to take back to your room or to take home with you, you can speak to the team there. And directly across the hall is the auditorium. I really liked this small auditorium space. In here you would find things like cooking demonstrations, wine seminars. It was a much more intimate venue than the main theatre. If you're concerned about accessibility during your cruise, then don't worry. This venue and many others that I'll show you on board mark their accessible friendly seating using those carpet markers. Next, welcome to Colours and Tastes, which is just further down the hall from the auditorium. This is one of the speciality dining venues on board Bolette, meaning that to dine in here, you'll be expected to pay a little bit extra over and above your cruise fare. Speaking from my own experience, I find Colours and Tastes excellent value. It's open every evening of the cruise for dinner. Colours and Tastes does not serve any other meal times at the point of recording this ship tour. You can book your meal in here either before you head to the cruise port or once you're on board. Let's now move to look at included dining venues. We're now going to look at the Bloomsbury restaurant and also the Terrace restaurant. These two dining venues share one space, with the Bloomsbury restaurant being on the lower level and the Terrace restaurant being on the upper level. You can choose to enjoy your breakfast, lunch and dinner in here, and all of those meals are totally included in your cruise fare. When it comes to dinner time, Fred Olsen Cruise Lines offer 2 dining times. The first sitting will go in at 6 p.m. and the second sitting will go in at 8 p.m. If you've got any dietary requirements, the team on board will speak to you once you get onto the ship. If you do choose a dining time that you need to change at any point for whatever reason, then the maitre d' of your chosen restaurant will usually be able to help you find a more suitable slot. If you've watched any of my other ship tours here on YouTube, you'll know that I usually start from the bottom and work my way to the top of a ship. However, in this example, we're making an exception because the promenade deck is down one deck from where we were, down on deck 3. 3.5 laps of this promenade deck equate to 1 mile, so it's a good promenade deck to come out and build up some distance while you're cruising. It's worth mentioning that some of these deck chairs here are reserved for the occupants of these cabins. You can see which chairs are reserved with the reserved banner on the top of the chair. Down here, you'll also find a number of deck games, and all of the rules for them are on the wall, so don't worry if that is new to you, or if you're anything like me, you can just stand here and enjoy these absolutely amazing views. You've also got forecastle access here. Now, a forecastle area or an observation area is something that I have never found before on a cruise ship, and I was completely fascinated by this aspect of Bolette. This part of the ship gives you some views that it's impossible to get on other cruise ships because the very front of the ship is usually blocked off for technical reasons, or this is where a lot of the equipment is stored. It was incredible during our scenic cruising days to spend some time out here. Deck 3 is also where you'll find one of the self-service laundry facilities on board. You'll find these on a few different decks of the ship, but they serve a really great purpose for allowing you to come in here as a passenger and do your own laundry. There are washing machines, there are tumble dryers, and there are also ironing boards, meaning that before a formal evening, you can come in here and iron your shirt or your dress that may not have survived the journey quite as hoped. We've now moved up to Deck 5 and we're all the way at the front of the ship. Welcome to the Neptune Lounge. As I mentioned earlier, this is Bolette's onboard theatre venue, and you'll find this space spanning across Decks 4, which is the downstairs, and Deck 5, which is the balcony. Personally, I enjoyed the views from Deck 5 a little more, due to the fact that down on Deck 4, a lot of the seating is at the same level. In here, you'll find 2 shows each evening, one suitable for going in if you're on the early dinner sitting, and the other suitable if you're using the later dinner sitting. On either side of the stage, you've got these really impressive statues holding up the lighting fittings. I really liked that element. And from an accessibility point of view, you've got more carpet markers here, and some of the seating in here is also labelled as companion seating, which I felt was a really nice touch that I haven't seen on too many other cruise lines. Moving out of the Neptune Lounge and now beginning our journey towards the back of the ship, the next space that we enter is the top floor of that main atrium, looking down on that absolutely stunning clock. This is where you'll find things like the future cruise information desk, so if you are looking to book another cruise while you're on board your current one, this is where you would come. You'll also find floral blooms here, which is the onboard florist. I loved walking past floral blooms and just taking in the smell of the flowers each morning. It is beautiful. This is also where you'll find Ocean Bar. Ocean Bar is a very popular evening entertainment venue on board Bolette. Each night, this place would come alive with live music, with various types of entertainment. There was also a fair amount of live dancing happening in here too. So if you are coming on board and you are bringing your dancing shoes, then this dance floor might be attracting your attention already. Heading towards the back of the ship, the next venue we find is the Morning Light pub. This is Fred Olsen Cruise Lines' take on the traditional British pub. In here, you can enjoy your glass of wine or enjoy your beer or maybe even your cocktail while watching perhaps live sports on the screens, or maybe just enjoying some of the views out of the large windows that line one side of the pub. You've also got a large bar area with lots of raised bar stool seating, so if you would rather sit at the bar watching those screens, then that option is absolutely available to you. If you're a little more active while you enjoy your drink, then you can make use of these games here. Personally, I absolutely loved this one, which was indoor shuffleboard, so please tell me that you'll go and give that a try. In here, you've got some really interesting artwork, and one of the pieces that I found fascinating was this one. This is actually a portrait of Fred Olsen's great-grandmother Bolette, who this ship is named after. Beside the pub, you'll find the shopping boutiques. Here, you can come and purchase things like fragrances, jewellery, or maybe even some snacks that you might want to take home or take back to your cabin to enjoy. Next, this is a piano bar, which is another really great entertainment venue on board Bolette. By day, this space was lovely and quiet and perfect for coming and getting through some chapters of your next book. In the evening, This venue would really come alive with live music playing well into the night. Some of the best seats here are all around the side of the piano itself. You've also got some seating all along the end of the room, or if you'd like to take in the views through these large windows, you might want to take advantage of these window seats here. If you're enjoying the tour so far, then please do support my channel by clicking that subscribe button and come with me on so many more ships going forward. Continuing our journey towards the back of the ship, this is the botanical room. The botanical room is a very unique theme of room to Fred Olsen Cruise Lines. I absolutely love the number of live plants in here. At home, I would consider myself to be a relatively keen gardener, and it does really amaze me that all of these plants are thriving so well on a cruise ship. If you'd like to come and read up on plants or the garden, then this might also be the place to do that. On the other side of the ship, we'll find the card room. This is where you can come and take part in the various bridge competitions during the cruise, or come along and try your hand at one of the other events held in here. That is right next door to the Bookmark Cafe and Lounge. This is where you can come and enjoy a speciality coffee that's not included in your cruise fare. You can also enjoy an array of cakes and chocolates all through the day. This lounge is an absolutely beautiful space. All along one side of the room, you've got huge windows that look out over the open ocean, and along the other side of the room, you've got bookcases full of books that you can check out to take back to your cabin. At the far end of this lounge, you'll find the Earth Room. This is a relatively new addition to Bolette, and Fred Olsen Cruise Lines say that this room is dedicated to those who are inspired by or curious about our planet. In this room, you've got a unique collection of books that were personally selected by Fred Olsen on topics such as evolution, climate change, recycling, fossil fuels, and the list goes on and on. So if you'd like to learn a little bit more about these pretty unique topics while you're cruising, this is where you can come to do that. You can also find a really large selection of board games here too, and if you'd like to check out a book, all you have to do is return it to the book drop. Next, welcome to the Oriental Tea Room. This venue is directly across the hall from the Bookmark Cafe, which we were in just a few moments ago. This is where you can come to relax and unwind while enjoying a really wide selection of teas. In here, there's a lot of really unusual loose leaf teas and also herbal infusions, largely coming from the east. If you like tea, you might be intrigued to try some of the tea-inspired cocktails that you can get from in here. You can also have a number of different beers in here from the likes of Japan, Singapore and Thailand. This venue, all through the day and well into the evening on my cruise, was lovely and quiet, so it's a great place to relax and just have a moment for yourself. The lookout on Deck 6 is a space that I found not too many people know about during their cruise. This space is all the way at the front of the ship and offers some absolutely incredible views out to sea, so make sure you add that to your list of places to visit. Speaking of places to visit, let's now explore the Atlantis Spa and Fitness Centre. This is, as the name suggests, the onboard spa on Bolette, and it's got some pretty unique features in here, one of which I've never seen on a cruise ship before. Up first, this is the hairdresser or the beauty salon, so if you'd like to come on board and have a blow dry, have your hair done, maybe have a manicure or a pedicure, you could come in here to get that done. There are also a number of treatment rooms that I'll show you shortly. Further into the spa, there's a relaxation lounge. This is where you can come to relax before or after your spa treatment, or maybe if you're using that really unique facility that I mentioned that I'll show you shortly. Here's one of the treatment rooms. What a beautiful space to relax and enjoy your, for example, massage in, looking out to sea while that ship is sailing to your next port of call. One thing that I really liked in the spa complex was this sauna. The saunas on board the ship are gender specific. So this one here is the male sauna, and there's another one just across the hall for female passengers. I really like the aspect of an included sauna when you cruise. It's now time to explore that unique feature that I've mentioned a few times now. Welcome to Bolette's Thermal Suite. This facility boasts everything that you would expect to find in a typical thermal suite, including a sauna steam room setup, a large jacuzzi hot tub, and a number of heated loungers. There are two aspects that make this venue so unique to what I've found elsewhere. The first is that as a guest using this space, you also have exclusive access to this beautiful little sun deck off to the side. You might choose to relax out here in the sunshine after you've got up from your heated lounger to just absorb some of these incredible views. The second thing that makes this space so different to what I've seen elsewhere is that you can book it for exclusive use, meaning that it's only you or your travel party that are permitted entry over a certain time period. It's a great idea, isn't it? Next, this is the fitness centre that you'll also find within the spa facility. The fitness centre on Bolette is totally included in your cruise fare, so this is an aspect of the spa that you don't have to pay anything extra for. You can find a wide array of cardio equipment, weights equipment, and there is also a large class area in a fitness studio off to one side. You can expect to find a wide array of fitness classes taking place on your Fred Olsen Cruise Lines cruise, and they are totally included in your cruise fare. So why not try a spin class for the first time ever? You never know, you might love it. Leaving the Atlantis Spa behind, we now find ourselves on the main pool deck. Bolette features two swimming pools. The first is the pool that you're looking at now, which serves as the main pool on board, and the second is at the back of the ship, which I'll take you to shortly as part of this tour. One of the main aspects of this pool that is very important is the retractable roof system that you can see above. At the touch of a button, the crew can open or close the roof, meaning that this pool is perfectly usable in all weathers. There's also the Lido bar up here, so if you'd like to relax with your favourite drink, you really don't have to go too far to get that. There's also lots of shaded seating in here too, so don't worry about being exposed to the direct sun all day long. Out here you'll also find the poolside, which is the poolside eatery, which is perfect for late breakfasts, brunches or lunches. Moving inside towards the back of the ship, the next venue to look at is the View Restaurant. This is the onboard buffet on Bolette, and you'll find this venue open for breakfast, lunch, dinner, evening snacks, and a few bits in between too. There are lots of seating options here, and one of my favourite things about this venue is the huge amounts of floor-to-ceiling windows that go all the way down both sides of the room. If you are watching this video from an accessibility point of view, then you'll be happy to know that all through this venue there are also accessible friendly seating. You'll find these seating options on the lower level of the restaurant. This is where you can also come to enjoy a range of included teas and also coffee. You can find all of the teas in the dispenser here. You've got hot water, you've also got your coffee machines, you've got lots of sugar, sweetener, and there's also water machines that can dispense cold, hot water, and also ice. So you can fill up your bottles to take off the ship or elsewhere on board. Next, this is Vasco Restaurant, which is the onboard Indian restaurant. Vasco promises to offer a taste of Goa, with all of the dishes here being individually created and individually sculpted on board. Vasco is part of the onboard buffet restaurant, but it is nicely sectioned off. You can book that once you get on board or prior to boarding the cruise, and it does come with a slight extra charge. At the very back of the ship, you've got some outdoor seating that's all set up for meal service here. So if you would like to take your food from the buffet outside, this is where it's best to do that. Those seats are right beside the aft pool that I mentioned to you earlier, which is the second pool space on board. This is also where you'll find one of the huge galleon figures that this cruise line is so famous for, and this is also where you'll get some of the most stunning views out to sea. So why not come out here, bring your camera, and just take it all in for a moment. We're now all the way up on deck number 9 of the ship, and we're at the very front. That means that the venue that we're now going to explore is the observatory. The observatory on board Bolette is that typical crow's nest venue that you will find on so many other cruise ships. Due to its location at the very front and the very top of the ship, the views out of this lounge are absolutely incredible, all through the day and well into the evening. There's a fully stocked bar here, so whatever your drink of choice is, I'm confident that you'll be able to get it here. This venue features some really comfortable seating, and in the evening hosts some really lively entertainment options. This is where you'll also find the Bolette ship model, so if you'd like to come up and have a closer look at the ship that you're sailing on, this is where you can do that. Leaving the observatory behind and heading further back on this same deck, you're going to find the sports courts. The sports courts are on either side of the funnel, so if you want to come down here and play tennis or pickleball or a similar sport, then this is where you'll come to do that. The sports courts are directly in front of the Olsen Art Studio, which is one of my favourite little venues on board this cruise ship. I loved how wholesome it was to come together with my fellow guests and try my hand at painting something. Now, try is probably the key word there because I'm not the most creative of people, but I loved this space. And I just thought everyone in here was so open and so encouraging, which was lovely to see. All over the walls in here, you can find displays of pieces of art or crafts that previous passengers have put together. So if you're not arty, at least come up here and have a look. At the very top of the ship, you'll find lots of open deck space. If you, like me, enjoy a little bit of sun worshipping on your cruise, then Deck 10 might be the place for you. This is what it looks like all the way at the front of the ship, and on warmer weather itineraries, they'll be able to put all of the sun loungers out here, so hopefully you'll have plenty of choice. The views from up here are absolutely stunning, looking all the way down the length of the ship. I hope you've enjoyed this tour today. If you have, then why not come and join me over in another of my Fred Olsen Cruise Lines videos. Over here is my playlist featuring all of my videos from this cruise line. I've got so much to show you from across the rest of the fleet. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll hopefully see you over there.